Angle in the first. Watch out.
Look at this.
Upton pops it up. Left side, Elvis Anderson backpedaling. He is under it. He puts it away. The Texas Rangers have won a postseason series.
The Texas Rangers are American League champions.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Right on Rangers Live, coming at you on a Thursday night, mixing it up a little bit. Your host, Austin Beckman. Hope you're having a great week so far. And as we've been hyping up all week long, we got a very, very special guest for you today on the show. You know him as one of the Little Rascals. He also was the 2025 Tom Grieve Player of the Year in the minor leagues, also won 2024 Defender of the Year, and maybe looking to add a Rookie of the Year trophy somewhere on the mantle. It is Cody Freeman. We're going to add him to the stage right now. Cody, what's good, brother? It's good to see you.
What's up, you guys? Austin, thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Absolutely. And by the way, if you're on TikTok right now, we are only on X, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube. So I know y'all can't hear anything on TikTok, but go over to YouTube, go over to X, go over to Instagram if you want to check it out. And we are going to get right into it, man. So, hey, by the way, happy belated birthday. I know you turned the big 2-5 last week, so definitely want to shout that out.
Thank you. I'm just getting older, man.
Shoot. You know what? Aging very, very well. And 2025 was a big year for you, brother. Big debut in July. And you know what? You took us on a crazy ride there in September as well, man. I know things didn't work out perfectly, but I know a lot of Rangers fans can't wait to see what you do this year in 2026, man. So first of all, I just wanted to ask, how's the offseason going? And maybe what are some of the highlights so far, some of the things that you're setting out to accomplish this offseason?
Yeah, man. No, first of all, thank you for that. And yeah, no, it's the off season time. You know, it's time to mentally rest, and it's also time to get after in the weight room, in the cages, work on what you need to, you know, your stuff you need to work on from the season to better yourself for the next year. And you know, just doing that and fixing, you know, the little things, whether it's little, big, like mechanical, physical, that kind of stuff. And you know, just preparing for the next year. And I'm super stoked for it. And we have such a good group, and I'm just like these next 2.5 weeks need to go by quicker, because I'm at that point where it's like, come on, Arizona, like let's go. But the off season's been great. Spending a lot of time with the family. They live pretty close, so been seeing them a lot, and you know, just grinding and training and getting ready for the year.
That's awesome, man. I'm kind of curious. We talked a little bit through DM, like when Skip first got hired. Have you had a lot of interactions with him? And when you get a new manager, obviously transitioning from Boch, do you have to change anything up as an individual, or is it kind of just, hey, be you and keep doing what you're doing? Can you talk a little bit about that transition, especially in an off season like this?
Yeah, for sure. Skip's been around, so he knows all the guys. It's not like he's like new to the organization. He was there last year, and he knows what type of players every single one is, and what type of team we are, what type of team we're going to be. And it's one of those things where it's like we're all super stoked and on the same page to be playing for him. And I know he's super excited to manage us. And he just seems like, you know, he's one of us, and he wants to win bad, and just as bad as we do. And he competes, and you know, you could see him as a MLB baseball player, the type of player he was, and that just leads to what type of manager he is, and it pumps us all up to be playing for him.
Hey man, that's awesome. I know a lot of Rangers fans. Obviously, we're gonna miss Boch, and I know you had some glowing things to say about him. But I think a lot of people are having the same sentiment. Really excited about what 2026 can bring with Skip. Well, hey man, let me backtrack a little bit and kind of take you back a little bit on your baseball journey here. So, 2019 was the year you were drafted, fourth round pick, Eddie Wanda High School. Am I saying that right?
Etiwanda, yes, sir.
Etiwanda. Okay,
Yeah.
all right, man. I'm glad I was at least in the ballpark.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Uh,
it's people mispronounce it. Even like the city I'm from, it's in Rancho Cucamonga, and everyone's like, "What did you just say?" But that's the city I'm from. So
by the way, I went through a number of the different interviews you've done, and I actually found a really cool story that you shared about when you went to a minor league game in Rancho Cucamonga and you got to meet Mike Trout. Is that right?
that's correct. Yep.
Did I was curious when the Angels came to town. I know Mike was injured a little bit throughout the year, but have you told him that story?
You know what's funny is I was waiting because like the time we did play the Angels, he was DHing. So and believe I was playing second or I was DHing as well. So I was like, hey, I kind of want to tell him the story, you know. But yeah, it was one of those things where I was a little guy, travel ball, and then we went to the Quakes game, and he was a star center fielder prospect, and I was a center fielder when I was little, and they said keep this ball when this dude signs it. This guy's going to be a special player. So, young 10-year-old me or however old I was like, okay, yeah. And then like next week or day, I was playing catch with my brother who also plays baseball. Lost it or whatever. I didn't care at the time, but now it's like one of those things where it's like, dang, I should have kept that baseball because I would have had him sign that baseball again, which would have been pretty cool. But yeah, it's just one of those stories where it's like, that's why I don't take those times for granted when the little kids come out and run with us to do the national anthem and even just to ask for a signature, ask for a conversation, stuff like that. It goes a long way. So.
And that's so cool. It's awesome that it's kind of got to come full circle for you when the Angels came to town that one time. That's great. I was actually going back and looking through a couple of different videos that were of you when you were a prospect coming up, going maybe between Baylor, right, and then also potentially getting drafted. And I was actually really curious about your swing because watching you swing the bat as a senior in high school, it looks so much different to me than what you are right now. And I also wanted to bring something else up, not as a dig or a burn or anything like that, but I noticed, and I don't know if Max Preps is correct, but the home run totals for you in high school were pretty low, right? And
I only had
so
two, I believe.
yeah, that's what I saw as well, and it had me curious because I know a lot of Rangers fans kind of know you as a little bit more of a power hitter in the minor leagues. I know you were up there among tops on the team in AAA and AA, I think as well. So I was just kind of curious if there was a bit of a correlation there with the power surge and the change of the swing, and just getting your thoughts on that in general.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of those things where you gotta like. There's the reason there's a minor leagues and development program, and there's a reason, like if you go to college, you're going to get stronger. If you go to minor leagues, you're going to get stronger. Like that's just part of growing and like just getting bigger and stronger and stuff like that. Like the toe tap's still the same. I still have the toe tap, but it's just honestly just getting stronger and bigger in the weight room, and it starts in there. And I just, I got drafted. I heard my name, and like I like to listen to like the negative comments and pros and cons and stuff like that. And like once I got drafted, they give you a little like summary of who you are. And it's like, yeah, he's not going to be a power hitter. He's going to be a contact single guy. It's like, all right, we'll see, game on. And, that's just the type of person I am. And not just, calling out anyone that said that, but like, it's part of the process and getting stronger in the weight room and just trusting your coaches and your strength coaches and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, it was a fun year last year and just getting better and better each and every year, learning from a great group of people surrounded by me. The organization just surrounded by great people, great players all the way around.
That's awesome, man. I also saw, I think this was on your TikTok. You had that infamous opportunity, I guess it is, to pitch in one game. Is this right?
Correct. That is correct. I did.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, for sure. It was senior day, and I kept begging my high school coach, to like, let me throw an inning. Let me throw an inning. He's like, no, 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 like there's scouts here, like watching you, like we're not going to get you hurt, we're not going to like mess around, stuff like that. As I kept asking him every game, every game, every game, and it's senior night, our senior day. We didn't have night games in high school, in league. So senior day, and then a lot of people there, scouts there, and we're up like 13-1 or something, and there's like 2 outs left, and a coach walks out to the pitcher's mound. I'm like, well, this is weird. He looks at me. He's like, "You're on the mound." I'm like, "What?" I was like, "Let's go." So I'm ready. I'm amped up. Let's go. Like I go slider strike one, slider strike two. I'm like, "Oh, this is easy." Like pitching, like all the pitchers, like you guys have it easy, man. Like let me just pitch. Um, and I'm like, I'm gonna blow one right by this guy at all my 81 miles per hour I got. So I try to go fastball up, and the dude hits a home run. And next, it's 13-4. Crowds go like laughing and stuff, and I'm just up there having a good time, and end up getting out of it. But my high school coach, he's competitive, so it was funny watching him like get in panic mode after I give up the home run. He's like, "Are we gonna have to like someone go warm up?" That type of thing. And but yeah, I got out of it. It was fun though. But I ended up my high school ERA is like 17 or something like that. So.
That's what I saw, and I was like, "There's got to be a good story behind this." Sure enough, man, I saw your TikTok post. I know you posted it like 5-6 years ago, right? But yeah, that's a great story. I know what that feels like. I played high school ball, a little bit of really small college ball, and whenever that one position player finally got that opportunity, it's just classic, man.
Oh yeah,
That's great.
yeah, absolutely. It was fun though. It's memorable.
Did you get the gun read, by the way? How fast were you throwing? Did you ever get a
I
chance to find
didn't.
out?
I was not even worried about the radar at that point. I was just like, oh my gosh, I just gave up a home run. Like, and their whole dugout's chirping me. It's the funniest thing ever. Like, they think I'm serious. I'm trying to pitch good. Like, it's like I'm just out here having fun. They're chirping me. It's high school. It is what it is. But made that kid's day. So.
Yeah, seriously, man, that's great. And going along with that, not maybe quite the how that ended up, but at Etowanda, you won a couple of state championships. Was it one or two?
Just one. It was my sophomore year, my brother's senior year. So we won it together. He was at shortstop. I was at second, and won it at
Whoa,
Dodger Stadium. So it was pretty sick.
that is crazy. Was it a close game? Was it pretty like much in the hand? Can you tell us a little bit about the state championship game?
Yeah, I mean, it was back and forth, as in like it was a very pitching battle. We ended up winning 2-1, and I mean, I feel like I got every single ground ball in the game. My brother had one of our two RBIs. Um, their starting pitcher is the Padres setup man now, Jeremiah Estrada.
Oh
Um,
wow.
that's who started against us. So it's not like, oh, it's just high school. Here comes like fastballs down the middle. Like no, we're facing a dog, someone that's about to get drafted, and yeah, it was just a pitching duel and went back and forth. Ended up winning, and it was one of the memories forever. Like just growing up with these guys, and especially my brother, obviously, but winning that state title, it was one we'll always remember for the rest of our life.
That's awesome. And for all y'all that might not know, Tyler Freeman, Cody's older brother, plays for the Colorado Rockies. Actually had a pretty good year last year. I was looking at some of his numbers. What was that his best year in the bigs, would you say?
I would say so offensively. Yeah, I think he hit like 280. Um, he started playing more right field, I believe, and he's kind of same thing. Plays a little. Well, I just started playing the outfield, but he's probably played a little bit more outfield. But he's played majority right field this year, and enjoying it out there in Colorado. New, a little different than Cleveland.
Oh, absolutely. And you guys haven't got a chance to play together yet. I saw maybe there was like a spring training thing where you guys maybe have crossed paths, but never in a game, right?
No, just the spring training stuff, and it was last year. It was like on my like bucket list and like things I talked about for the year. I'm like, I'm gonna end the year playing against my brother this year. Like I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make the big leagues, and it ends up happening. But he gets traded halfway through the year. I'm like, dang it. So then I look at the Rockies, nothing, or not halfway through the year. I'm sorry, spring training, and instantly look at the Rocky schedule. They're early, and I'm like, I have a feeling I'm gonna start off in AAA, and not make the team out of camp because at the time he got traded, I had got optioned down from big league camp, and I'm like, darn it, like they played the Rockies early, and nothing after, and then obviously finished up in Cleveland, which was like, dang, I wish Ty was still here. I've been sick.
That would have been awesome. And I don't have the schedule memorized, but I don't think the Rockies on the schedule this year. I don't.
Oh yeah,
they are. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. That's
I think
awesome.
it's the second week of May, and it's more bad news. It's like it doesn't want us to play against each other, but my brother's wife is due that week. So I'm like, oh gosh, like I'm never gonna play against him. but timing wise, we'll see how it goes. But it's a date that we have marked. So
that's awesome. So boy or girl, do they know yet?
Girl.
Okay, very cool, man.
And
so
I do have a 4-month-old nephew now that I've been seeing so much this offseason. Literally spoiling that kid. Love him like he's mine, but that kid, we're blessed with that one. So
Uncle Cody, man, that is
awesome. I'm Unc. Getting older.
That is great. And you have a brother-in-law that's playing for the Aviators right now too? Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yep. He is going to big league camp with the A's, and excited for this year with him. He's been we've been training every day together, and he looks really good. And pumped to see where he ends up, and excited to be playing against him in the future. So I played against him a couple times in AA, Midland and Frisco, and Vegas. We didn't play against him because he started in Midland and then finished up in Vegas, and then didn't cross pass this year. But I'm excited to cross pass with him again soon.
Baseball family, brother. That's great. That is great.
Yeah, no, we're blessed for sure. And his brother's Reese McGuire, who also is a catcher in the big leagues.
There you go. And like bringing it full circle, because you were playing the Aviators when you got the call to the Bigs. So were
Correct.
You guys playing?
Yep.
You guys were playing against each other at that time?
No, he was still in Midland at the time.
Okay.
And he was still in Midland at the time.
So, I think I've talked to you. I live out in Vegas, and I've been to that ballpark a number of different times. Is that the best ballpark in AAA, or is there a better one?
You know what's funny is like it was like one of those things like getting drafted by the Rangers. It's like as an 18-year-old going through the minor leagues. It's like Round Rock plays in Vegas. A AAA team like plays in Vegas. Vegas, can't wait to play in Vegas because I grew up playing in Vegas a lot because I'm from California. So I drive up for tournaments and stuff like that. So I can't wait to play like against Vegas. I don't know why. It's just one of those things. And like first time, opportunity to get to go play in Vegas. It got cut short and didn't get to play on the field. So I couldn't have an answer for you there. But best AAA stadium is the new Salt Lake one, like clubhouse, field wise, all around. It's definitely the new Salt Lake Stadium. But view wise, like hitting is the best minor league like view is Charlotte by far. Like having the backdrop in city, it's pretty sick.
That's awesome, man. I have not been to a lot of minor league ballparks, just like the few that I've happened to be in the same city as, but I was curious about your take on that. And you were, when you got the call, playing blackjack, right? At one of the casinos.
I was.
I'm assuming kind of close by. I know there's one right next to the ballpark, but obviously they're all over the place in Vegas. So is it like mid hand, like at the table? Can you just give us a little bit more, paint the picture for us about when you got the call?
Yeah. So my dad and my mom flew in from Texas to come to this series because it's Vegas. Come experience Vegas. Like come watch me go have your fun while I play baseball. That type of thing. Right. And we're staying at the Red Rock right next to the stadium. So we're literally it's 11 o'clock. I'm planning to walk over to the field at 1, and I'm hot. I'm up a couple $100, maybe like $300-400, and get a call and don't have the number saved, and I just decline it right away, even if it was somebody I knew, because like I'm playing blackjack, you can't have the phone at the table. Right. Declined it again. I'm like, why is this number calling me from Pennsylvania? And then I get a text saying, it's Doug, call me. I was like, uh-oh, what happened? Am I late? Did I miss something? I'm like, Dad, 1 sec. And it was just me and my dad at the table and my buddy Kellen just behind us watching. and stepped off to the side. Dealer's waiting, and then he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Playing blackjack with my dad." And he's like, "Well, you got to stop because the team in Arlington needs you." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, you're going to big leagues." And then that's when I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, heart stopped. Went told my dad, and then my dad started shaking. Gave him a hug while he was at the blackjack table. Said, "Yo, keep those chips, man. Like, those are yours. I got to get on a 2 o'clock flight, so I'm rushing to the airport." I tell my mom, who's playing slots, walk into the room, give her a hug. It was great having the family, in person with me. Um, and then I called my family in a group chat as I was going to the airport, told them the news. I land, and I'm just so just 360. I like going all right here in my head.
Right.
I land. It's like the second inning. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, and I look at my phone and I'm on the roster. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is sick. Like I'm not even there and I'm on the roster. And I'm like, whatever, I'll probably just show up. Boys win, high five them. I get there in like the sixth inning, and they say like, hey, get like strap up, whatever, get ready. I'm getting ready, so I go straight outside, sixth inning, shake Boch's hand, say hi to a couple guys. They're mid game, so I'm like trying to just stay off to the side, talk to somebody I know, and next it's like the eighth inning, and Boch is like, hey, you're going to run at second. I'm like not even stretching. I don't know how this works. So I start doing some quick stretches. I'm like, all right, let's do this. Everyone's like, come on, yeah, let's go. I get out there. I stand on second. It's like a tie ball game. 1 out. Jonah Heim's up. Or no outs. No outs or 1 out. Jonah Heim's up. I'm on second. Bottom 9 or 8. Bottom 8. Tie game. And I'm like, dude, I forgot how to base run. Like, what is going on? I'm on second. Like, I never played baseball in my life. Like, what do I need to do to get to third base? So ground ball to first base. I run to third. I'm like, oh, all right. Take a deep breath. And then, Seager's up, 2 outs, base hit, score the game-winning run. And then it's like we win, and it's like, oh, my gosh, that just happened. Like, I'm in my room, like, just staring out the window. I'm like, Corey Seager just drove me in tonight. And I was just in Vegas this morning about to walk to the AAA, like, our game. And it's just like it came that quick. And family all came the next day. And then I didn't play the next day. And then my first ever start is ESPN Sunday night against Scooball. A lot of people know that name. And it's just like, bring it on, like, why not face the best of the best? Like, that's how you start, like, and, but yeah, that was the whole call up story right there.
Dude, it's such an awesome story, brother. It's crazy. Just like you said, your morning time in Vegas, and then you're scoring the winning run that evening. That's just insane to me, man. When I heard all the details of it, it's just incredible. And I did I feel like I kind of forgot just because of the roller coaster ride that was the end of the 2025 season, but it was Tarek Skubal in the first start ever. That's awesome. Do you remember the first at bat? What did you do? I know that it took a second to get to that first major league hit and RBI, but did you take him deep in a couple of those ABs? Did you work the count a little bit on him?
Yeah, I think so. So the first one, I think we went like 5 pitches. I wouldn't say like super deep, but worked like a 5 pitch type at bat. But like
Yep.
I stepped in and I always called timeout in the first pitch, and he like looked at me and started to take like 3 steps up to me. I'm like, what is going on? He like gives me a thumbs up and says, hey, good luck with your career, bro. Like, wish you the best of luck. I'm like, oh, that's sick. Like, thanks. Catcher says it, umpire says it. I'm like, all right, this is pretty dope. And then I'm like, all right, here comes a first pitch fastball, be on it, like smack something hard. And then he goes fastball up and in at like 98, blows it right by me. Like, all right, here we go. And then he ended up working a count, then got a change up, struck out, and then second at bat lined out flew out to right. But yeah, it was such a memorable experience.
I did not know that he actually after that first time out actually said good luck. That's cool because sometimes with a player of his stature, of his magnitude, you just don't know how aware guys are. You know, I'm sure maybe over the announcer, do they say MLB first MLB start or something like that to clue him in? Either way, that's cool. But that he would take the
I
time to
think
do
they
that.
announced it when I went up to hit, and
Okay. Okay.
yeah, and I think same thing when they're doing their scouting reports like before the game and stuff. They see me starting the lineup, they're gonna look me up and be like, "Oh, he has no big league at bats. It's his
Okay.
debut," like that type of thing.
Absolutely. That makes a ton of sense. And throughout the season, I know that you had times where you had more opportunities, a string of starts, than you had opportunities where you kind of were playing a little bit more of a bench role, maybe spot starting here and there. Can you just talk about like what you do to stay mentally sharp and also kind of this has actually been a debate among our shows here and there and just some of the posts that I've thrown out there, but I know that some fans feel like when a player has to play so many positions or maybe doesn't have a set role, it can be like mentally taxing or a burden. I mean, as for me as a player, I didn't necessarily feel that way, but I've never played at the level that you have, obviously. So can you just talk about the experience with being asked to do so many different things?
Honestly, like it doesn't bother me. I wouldn't say it's like, oh, this is dreadful, unless it was like catching was still involved. Like that's a little different. But like it's just like throw me wherever. Like I'm gonna play my hardest. I'm gonna give it my all, no matter what position I'm at. And at the end of the day, it's like you got to catch a fly ball when it's hit to you, or you got to field the ball when it's hit to you. Like it's one or the other way. Like throw me wherever you need me. Type of vibe. So it's like it doesn't matter if I see myself starting in right, left, short, second, first. It doesn't matter. Like it's just like one of those things where it's like, all right, get to hit, let's hit. And yeah, it's like the Saturday last. I mean, the season ends Sunday. It's Saturday in Cleveland. I get thrown out in left field for my first time ever. They're trying to make the playoffs, so it's like sold out crowd. I make it's a low line drive. I go in and I dive. I'm like gets by me. I've never heard a crowd erupt that loud in my life. And them Cleveland fans are crazy. My brothers told me that they love the Cleveland. They love their sports. Anyways, I go out, run on third. I'm like, gosh dang it, like whatever. It's like I gave my full effort, and then pitcher goes strike out, pop up. I'm like, end the inning, let's go. Like that's all it takes. We all pick each other up. So
Absolutely, man. I always tell I've coached a little baseball, like just middle school, a little bit of high school, like JV ball. I always say, and I think it applies to you guys, but for me, the best position is always on the field, man. Just get in the lineup, right? And then who knows what could happen from there. Sometimes you have it in your mind, you're a second baseman, shortstop, third baseman, and you get an opportunity somewhere else and you make the most of it, man. And it feels like that's your story here, at least in 2025, right? Just get in the lineup and make something out of it.
yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, it's all you can ask for is any way to get in that lineup and help the team win. So
Now, speaking of that, I don't know what the conversations are like with upper management, with the front office, with Skip, but talk about your role next year. Has the team given you any indication of what that might look like? Do you feel like you're going to get a pretty fair opportunity to potentially get a starting role this year? Can you just talk a little bit about that?
yeah, it's one of those things where they just told me like to keep working in the infield and outfield, and then like be versatile and wherever they need me. It's not like hey, like even like yeah, there's some guaranteed spots like how it's how the baseball world works. It's how NFL works. Like you have your guys, but like it's like not, even like I feel like till I retire, there's nothing guaranteed. I'm gonna earn a spot every single year wherever I'm at, like how much ever I make, all that kind of stuff. But like that's just my mentality is like I'll always have a spot to earn, and like put my nose down and try to go earn a spot.
Love it. And is this your second spring training, or have you done others in the past? I know you were there last year, correct? How many spring trainings have you done?
I think this is going to be my
Okay.
third or fourth spring training. I think third.
Okay. So you obviously have gotten some experience with it. In spring training, you are not always, playing every single, all 9 innings. Can you talk about what the experience is like during spring training for the players? I mean, obviously as fans, we don't get to see everything that goes on. The team isn't necessarily as in the spotlight as maybe during the regular season. So can you just pull the curtain back just a little bit on the spring training experience? What you like about it? What might be a little bit difficult about it?
Yeah, it's just like honestly, like when you're in the minor leagues and like you get a chance to get in that bat or go play defense in front of the big league manager is already like a plus. It's like okay, like all it takes is one play to be like the big league manager's like, dang, who is that kid? That's all it takes. Like, yeah, we wear number 99 or the big numbers, but it's like that's where opportunities start. And you know, my first ever big league game was against my brother, which was pretty sick. Um, but it was just like it felt like I was in the big leagues, and it's like it just felt like this is it, like this is the big leagues. Obviously, it's not, but like it's cool to play in those games, and like as fans, it's like as true fans, you got to watch. If you're going to stay the whole game, you got to watch the guys who come in the second half because those are going to be your guys coming in a pinch hit. Those are going to be your guys that come in and earn a spot, and like guys that you're going to end up knowing in the future.
Awesome, man. And I know you've talked a little bit about working on the bat and just bettering the bat. You said that in one of the lives. I know when you stopped by once and left a couple comments for us. Can you get a little bit nerdy with it and talk about just specifically what is it with the bat that you're most in tune to as you go about your workouts and you do all of your training?
Yeah, workout wise, like it incorporates like a lot of strength into like my back legs, and I've been working a lot mainly on staying more on my backside. And if you want to get like as deep as it is, it's like that's the one thing I'm mainly focused on is not being too jumpy and just being more on my backside. The hands, mechanic, all that kind of stuff's fine. Like I'm gonna continue to keep doing my routine, getting better, working on stuff. And but yeah, I was just mainly focusing on staying on my backside this year. And I got my feet wet and like seeing how pitchers pitch up in the big leagues, and you know, it's I think getting those 100 at bats were a great start and a blessing for sure because it just like it gets me so much ready for next year and like knowing how pitchers pitch against like rookies and like where you're at in the lineup, knowing your strengths and cons, or that kind of stuff, and just blessed with those 100 at bats because I'm gonna take those and learn from those and incorporate in the off season, which I've been doing, and just getting more mentally ready for next year.
Absolutely, brother. And I know you talked about maybe I don't want to put words in your mouth, but taking cues from some of the big leaguers that were already on the squad, and either guys that maybe aren't with the team anymore or guys that still currently are. Was there someone that you kind of modeled some things after as you kind of got your feet wet, looked around, saw what some of the other guys, some of the vets on the team were doing?
Yeah, obviously like talking to the infield group a lot because I'm around them more than anybody else. And obviously grew up watching Seeker, Simeon, like those guys, and it's like I'm close with Josh Young, that, and we're just having conversations in the locker room, on the field, that kind of stuff. And like, the one that made me feel comfortable the most, like talking smack and like, making me feel like a rookie is Rowdy Telez. And he helped me out. He helped me out a lot. Like there was one day in Cleveland, we're at a really bad game. It was that game, honestly, that I was talking about earlier. And he told me to come to his room after, sat me down and had a talk with me and say like, hey, days like this happen. He had like Leiter sitting down at dinner telling me, hey man, days like this happen. Like, just let's bounce back. And it's just like, you have good leaders in this clubhouse. And but yeah, we have a really really good clubhouse. And I'm just like, blessed to be around the guys we're around. Like Hall of Famers and great, and like they're you grow up, you're like, oh, these guys, like you're like, oh my gosh, like, but like I'm in the clubhouse, they're helping me, and they're my teammates, and it's just it's great. It's a blessing. These guys are like really really good people and like help me out a lot.
That's so cool because we don't, as fans, get to hear about a lot of this stuff, and I know the Rangers as a whole, you guys keep things a little bit close. I mean, I don't think that it's like there's nobody that wants to talk or share anything, but I think you know what I mean. And so to hear experiences like this that you had, I think that it's going to be something that a lot of fans will enjoy hearing about, especially with Rowdy. I think a lot of people gravitated towards him, especially with some of those incredible clutch hits he had. I think he had 2 or 3 that I can remember, home runs that just really sent a jolt into you guys.
Oh yeah, and he's one of those guys where it's like he hits the homer. Like I mean, even like when I debuted, like when I walked into to the dugout, like we make eye contact, he like bumps me, doesn't even say hi, because like he was in AAA with me like a couple weeks prior, and I scored that run, and then there's a picture of me giving him a big brother hug, and we talk in the off season and stuff like that. But he was awesome, and I hope to see him around. So,
And he's playing. I know he just announced he's or found out it was announced. I don't know if it was from him, but he's going to be playing in the WBC for Team Mexico,
yeah,
and still potentially looking to latch on somewhere. I know a lot of Rangers fans are really curious where he's going to end up, but definitely a fan favorite, even if it was only for a short time, man. And I kind of
yeah.
wanted to go back to something you talked about. I know you mentioned, hey, I grew up watching Seager, I grew up watching Simeon, and as a kid growing up, you were a Dodgers fan, correct?
I was diehard Dodger fan. Went to a game pretty much like once a month. I feel like.
That's awesome. So I have always been curious about this, brother. When you get drafted, obviously that team kind of takes your number one spot, right? But I do know, I mean, you're drafted in 19 and 20. The Dodgers are playing in a World Series. Can you just talk a little bit about the tension there? What that's like? Sorry, I'm losing my ability to speak here. Being a fan of a team for your whole life, but also obviously getting drafted by one.
Yeah, honestly, like it was just one of those things where like I didn't care for them anymore. I like, yeah, they're my hometown team. Grew up, and then once I signed with the Rangers, I'm Rangers. It's like, and I play against the Dodgers rookie ball team, and it's like screw you guys. Like now I got to beat you guys. I know it's not the big league team, but like it's part of their organization, and it's just like, no, go Rangers. It's like the love you lose the love, sadly, or not sadly. I guess good and bad, but you just lose it for them, and I didn't really care for them, but yeah.
That's great, man. I People are gonna eat that up. That is awesome. I've always been curious, and I know some guys, they get drafted, they eventually become a free agent, and then they might be like, well, I grew up cheering for this team, and it all kind of comes full circle. Maybe if they sign with the team that they grew up as a kid, but I love hearing that from you, man. That's great. And you have mentioned, I know you were a Fracall fan. Who are some of the other
Yeah.
guys growing up that you idolized as a kid? Could be a Ranger, could be non-Ranger, just anybody. Throw out some names for us.
Yeah, Scotty Rowland was always my favorite, and everyone's like, why? Why? I don't know. I just liked his swing, and watched him growing up. Scott Rowland was always my number one, and just crazily like I think Evan Grant, he's one of our reporters. He asked me like the same question, and I threw Ian Kinsler in there. He's like, "Are you just saying that because he's with us now?" I'm like, "No, like I wear my pants up high because of him, or like one of the reasons." And like it's cool that now he's like helping me out and like talking to me and stuff like that. So it's good to have them around. But yeah, I would say Scott Rowland, Rafael Furcal, Ian Kinsler were like, and obviously Altuve, and like playing against him this year was just crazy because like I get on second. Like I've always been like on the shorter side, so it's like all right, short guys, let's go. Like I like you because you're short. And I get on second, and he comes up to me and talks to me like we've known each other for 30 years, and just a great human being. And like seeing a picture like next to him, I'm like, dude, I'm way taller than you. Like in my head, I'm like, but yeah, it was funny. So
I'm reminded of, and I put out a couple of videos of some of your highlights, and I watched that home run. I think it was your second home run of your career that you hit in Houston, and the boos were just like showering down, man. It was loud, and obviously that series is really heated up the past several years, especially with what happened in 2023. But can you just talk a little bit about playing in the rivalry in some of those games?
Oh yeah, I played against them at home and on the road, and like when we were playing against each other at home, we were in the race, and so it just meant that much more. And then we played over there. It's like, all right, screw these guys. They're our rivals. Like I don't care if we're not in the like playoff hunt anymore. Like we're gonna give it our all and beat our rivals. That's how it is. That's how any rival is. Whether the last team, rivals in last, or the other ones at first. Like those games always mean something to somebody. And yeah, watching the video and like hearing the boos, even I mean, rounding second, all that kind of stuff. Like I don't hear anything. I'm just still at the point where it's like a home run's like the coolest thing in the world. Like I block out. I'm like, I hit the home run. I'm like, I just hit home plate. I'm like, what just happened? And but yeah, watching the videos and stuff, so hearing the boos, that's pretty sick. So
Oh, 100%. And going back to the end of the year, let's talk a little bit about September because, man, it was just a crazy roller coaster. 16 and 4 stretch. And it was honestly with a lot of what was coined the Little Rascals playing. By the way, I know somebody asked you about Little Rascals. Settle a debate for us. Try not to be nice. Do you guys like the nickname?
yeah, we didn't care. We thought it was funny. The guys in the clubhouse started calling us that too, and like shirts were made, and the shirts were sold out like real quick and stuff like that. So it was funny.
That's great. And just talk a little bit about what in your mind was or were the biggest reasons why things went so right on that 20 game stretch, and then take it to where maybe you feel like things started going wrong. And I know in baseball, sometimes you can't put your finger on one thing. It's just how the game goes sometimes, right? But take us back to that stretch and then to what followed it.
Yeah, it's just like I feel like you already answered the question. It's as simple as the like answer is. It's part of the game. You play 160 games, or you're gonna have the roller coaster. You're gonna have to ride the roller coaster, and we were just so amped up. Getting so close to playoffs, and like getting on that 16-4. I think that's what it was. Our streak. I mean, it just felt like no one could beat us. Like our energy was great. Like we're vibing in the clubhouse. It was great. And just like come towards the end, when you start losing a little bit and like starting to see yourself like creep out of the playoffs, it sucks and it hurts a lot. So it's like we're gonna continue to give it our all and try to like fight and like and like once you get eliminated, it sucks, But at the end of the day, it's like any kid in the world would like to play in the big leagues these last 2 weeks, whether you're eliminated in July or whether you're eliminated the last day. It's like you give your all every single pitch like the rest of the season. And it sucks losing. Like I hate losing more than I like winning. Like I hate losing, and it sucked, but it's part of it. And it's like it helps us in the off season, figure out all the little stuff like what we need to do better as an individual, as a team, all that kind of stuff. And the communication in our group chats and stuff like that like have been great. And the boys are ready for this year. So
Great, man. And I just wanted to talk through something kind of trade deadline. I know you were around for the trade deadline, and obviously this is kind of your first off season where you're really entrenched in the big league club. But can you talk about the tension between, we feel really good about the guys that we have right now in the clubhouse, but also that maybe competitive nature to want to improve the club, bring new guys in. Can you just talk about the perspective that you have, maybe that other guys have when it comes to free agency and just the off season in general?
yeah, no, for sure. It's just it's the business part of the game. Like we can't as players control any of those moves. We can't control any say. We don't like. I mean, yeah, if somebody leaves, like Adolis, like we get like we text him, we get sad. Like that was one of our boys, but like that's not our job. Like it's part of the business. Like we don't make those moves for a reason. Like no matter what, we're going to come to the field, no matter who we add, who we subtract, all that kind of stuff. And we're going to play with the guys that we rock with, and the guys that we rock with are there for a reason. I feel like.
So I wanted to get your opinion on some of the minor league guys, and I know that they put out prospect lists, and there's always guys that get highlighted. Walcott obviously has been at the top of the list for a while. Scarborough is getting a lot of hype right now, and rightfully so. He had, I think, an outstanding season this past year down at A ball. Is there a guy that you have in your mind, somebody that maybe is getting slept on a little bit that you don't always see at the top of lists? And I'm not trying to put you in a bad spot. I know you got a lot of brothers down in AAA and AA, but just spotlight somebody for us so maybe he doesn't get thrown out there so much.
Yeah, honestly, it's like when you say like the prospect ranking stuff, like I even like when I got drafted and stuff, like I think even in high school, like I was never like the ranked guy, and like I hated that kind of stuff. And I think that stuff is so like not taken away from the top prospects by means or any of that kind of stuff. But I think that stuff means nothing, and it you don't care to like even like as fans, yeah, you see those 30 players, you're like, okay, let's just follow these 30. No, you should follow the other 120 players because you're not going to just base off 30 guys of what a computer says or what a group of 5 guys say in a room of like what kind of players these are. And like, I want the dog that's like, I'm not saying, again, those top 30 prospects, I'm not calling them not dogs at all. I'm just saying in general, like you got to watch your whole organization and watch out for the players that aren't ranked and stuff like that. And, that's just from personal experience too. Like, I just think that stuff is so, eyewash and not doesn't matter at all, like but like yeah, guys that like the Cam Collies in the world, like the guy reminds me of me. He's a stud. He's going to be up in the big leagues this year, and I just that's one of the prospects that stand out to me for sure. And it's just just back to the prospect stuff. It's just I'm not a big fan of it. It's a personal thing, but like as a Rangers fan, like watch all of our prospects and watch each and every organization and follow all the guys on each roster because we have a great organization and we have players that aren't ranked that are really, really good baseball players.
Okay, thank you. That totally validates what my thought has always been as well too, because they change so much, right? I mean, it's one part of the season you've got these 15 guys, and it suddenly changes because somebody's hitting in the 200s, and somebody's had a couple of nice weeks. So, thank you.
That's all it takes. Yeah, of course, that's all it takes. I didn't get ranked until week 2 in the big leagues, and like I'm like at this point, what are you even ranking me for? Like just to say like oh, this guy's ranked, so he's like we did great because we got ranked another big leaguer, something like that. But it's just like I think that stuff's just as fans, like just don't care about that kind of stuff, So go out and watch field 5, field 6, and spring training, and find who you like and stick with them. See who's working their tail off on the backfield in spring training and follow those guys.
Amen, man. And I want to get your take on a couple of different minor league experiences. So, can you talk a little bit about what it's like when Wyatt Langford shows up to A ball? I mean, I know he had this meteoric rise to the big leagues, right? But I was looking at going back to his year in A ball where you played with him, and obviously a couple of other guys did as well that a lot of Rangers fans would know. But what's that like when Wyatt comes to town?
Yeah, I mean, White's a great guy, and like meeting him, it's like one of those guys. You already get a firm handshake because how big he is. I'm like, oh gosh, all right, let's go. Like this guy's on our team now. Let's ride. And it's just one of those things where you just spot out the guy on the field that like it's like you shouldn't even be here. Like go. And like that was just like the short time I had with him. Like he was crushing balls and made it look easy right away. And it's like not many people could say that. It's like a lot of people like to like not I wouldn't say like to, but a lot of people in the baseball world use the minor leagues for experience to get better, to get stronger, to get fat. Like that dude used it to just like get live at bats, like make it look that easy, and just skip his way to the big leagues. But he deserved it. And he's a player he is for a reason because kid's a stud.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see what he does this season. It's been better and better each year. And I was actually curious. We talked about had an offer from Baylor. You were committed to Baylor, right? When you see something like Wyatt and you watch obviously his journey, SEC ball, playing for Florida, I think I know the answer to this, but I still want to get your take. Is there any second guessing with you? Like, man, that I wish I would have taken a different path, done college, or is it kind of the opposite?
It's completely opposite. I feel like, God has a plan for every single person in this world, and my path's gonna be different than Wyatt's. Jack Leiter's gonna be different than Ozuna's. Like everyone has a different path for a reason, and I'm happy, it worked out the way it did. And like when I called the Baylor coach prior, I gave him a number and I said, hey, if I get this, I'm gonna go to the draft, and I got more than what I asked for. And then called him right away and just pretty much said, hey, I'm gonna make it, so you don't like. I promise I'll make it. And so all right, don't let me down, whatever. And next, it's like 3 weeks or like a couple months ago, we go to lunch together in the off season. Like we still communicate. And yeah, you see a lot of like guys that go to the draft and like their college coach wants to talk negative, talk smack on them, and stuff like that. It's like that's just not how it is. It's like it's life changing money for 100% of the people in the draft. Especially or 100% of high schoolers in the draft. And it's like it's a blessing for sure. But yeah, to answer your question, I know he has a plan for all of us and every single person in this world. So it's like I don't have any regrets at all.
All right, that's actually a great pivot because I wanted to talk to you about your faith a little bit, and I want you to obviously be able to share your story. But did I catch from maybe I think it was a pod that you did with like Art of Pitching or something like that? Like faith was not always as big of a part of your life, and if that was the case, can you tell us about the moment where it all changed?
Yeah, absolutely. And it all changed my sophomore year. Our one of our pitchers, his dad passed away, and they would all go to church together. And then I started going to church with just him, and then started getting closer and closer. And then my brother had left for pro ball, and then I started going to church on my own. Or he had left to do his own thing too. So I started going alone, and I grew up knowing about him, just not knowing who he is, and like who just an idea of like Christmas and Easter and stuff like that. And then I chose to get baptized in 2019, February 19th, and 2021, or I believe it's 2020. I'm sorry, um, to get baptized, and each and every year it's like I'm getting closer and closer and closer. And it's like in the minor leagues it was tough, because Sundays it's like you're playing at 1 o'clock, so you don't go to church and stuff like that. And this year it's just like I feel like I've gotten so much closer with him, and my faith is like at a really good high point in my life and my relationship with him. And it was like one of the days like after a big league game, we had like faith and family night with like the guys, and like you walk in down to that night and you see like a ton of fans, Ranger fans. It's like, who are we? Like I get, we're big leaguers and stuff like that. It's like we're all brothers and sisters, and like there's nothing bigger than the game of base, or there's nothing bigger than a relationship with the Lord. And it's like, yeah, we're baseball players, but that's not like who we are. It's just what we do. So
Preach it, man. I love it.
yeah.
Favorite Bible verse?
Yeah, Proverbs 4:23 for sure, and Jeremiah 29:11. That's been in my Instagram verse for a long, long time. No, and Proverbs 4:23 though is for sure my favorites. Guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. And just guarding your heart. Like, what are you watching? Who are you hanging out with? What are you doing with your life? And like that leads to the course of your life. And just like who you are as a person and what you do in the world, like all that kind of stuff. And it's a big one. It stuck with me for a long time.
I love those verses, and you strike me as a bit of a Romans 8:28 guy, man. Everything works for good, man, for those that
Yeah.
love him.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I
for
love.
sure. And it's like, yeah, you have bad games, you have tough times, but at the end of the day, it's like, hey man, we have the Lord. We're winners at heart. You see the Jesus One shirts, stuff like that. It's like at the end of the day, it's like he literally like we're winning. We're all winning.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, I know we're running a little bit short on time, and want to be respectful of that. Let's try and do a couple of maybe fan questions if we can. And look, I know we've got a lot of people in the comments, and I know that we've missed a lot, but if you got a question, I'll try and scroll back through. Let's see if we can find some things that maybe will be good for us to chat through before Cody signs off. So if you've got anything, drop it. I've got a couple of other things while you guys are doing that. I saw that you caught Kumar Rocker's first pro start. Is that right? Did I get that right?
I think you did, yeah, in the fall league in 2022. I did catch him, and we talk about that to the day and laugh about it in the clubhouse because it's like, excuse me, I wasn't the best. I was just learning. So it's like one of those things where we just joke around saying I was horrible and like all that kind of stuff. And it's funny during the season I actually caught Kumar this year in the big leagues. Higgy got down. I believe it was Higgy or Heim. One of them got hurt, and I was the emergency catcher for the day. And Boach told me to go catch Kumar's bullpen during practice. I'm like, oh my gosh, here we go. So I just got some gear on and caught him. And we were laughing about that too, because, just one of those things where like, throw me back there. I don't care. Let's go win a game and give my best effort.
Do you still work on catching at all, or is it something not really anymore? Just
it's one of those things where it's like if they need me back there, like I'll strap on the gear and work at it. But until then, I'm just going to do infield and outfield stuff.
Awesome, man. Hey, I've got somebody asking, do you collect baseball cards? And if so, best card?
I actually, our team's known for collecting cards. We have some. Did I lose you? Oh, there we go.
Oh no, yeah, I think it just
So we had like Josh Young, Jake Berger. We had Sean Armstrong who like to collect cards. But personally, I'm not a big card collector. As I was just signing cards today for Topps, I just signed a couple 1-1s, which was pretty sick. But yeah, I've never been into cards. Like when I was little, I liked to like open them up and stuff like that. But it's just not my thing. Not saying it's like bad. It's not fun at all. It's cool if you really get into it for sure. But yeah, I'm not a card collector. Sorry to let you down.
It's all good, man. I think I showed you the one that I got. Not a 1-of-1, but I've slowly gotten into it. It's pretty fun. I like it. Kind of takes me back to being a kid.
That's what I've heard. So
another one here. This is from a fan. I don't know how valid this is. I'm hoping it is. Antonio's great. It says, can you talk about his dad and Chris Woodward and getting drafted in 2019 while Woodward was the coach?
Yeah, no, it's pretty sick. Like, getting drafted by the Rangers and first thing you look at the big league manager, it's like Chris Woodward. My dad knows him. He went to high school with him. He played 1 year with him. My dad was a freshman. Chris was a senior. Or it could have been the other way around. Chris was a senior, or Chris was a freshman. My dad was a senior. One of them. So they played 1 year together, and my dad dated Chris Woodward's sister for a year or something like that. And obviously has no correlation to me getting drafted by the Rangers by no means. But it was pretty cool that the odds worked out in that favor. And, seeing him in pretty much every spring training when I play against the Dodgers or wherever he is, which is pretty much the Dodgers now. And, always say hi and talk a little bit. So
that's great. Hey, I had a question that I forgot to ask you while we're compiling a couple others before we take off. Talk a little bit about the way the game is changing. Like I know that ABS is coming into the mix. Clearly, they've done little things like make the bases bigger, and some of that obviously is smaller stuff. Some's bigger. Can you just give me your take on any one of those things?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the pitch clock and a big, it's like some games you want games to last 4 hours, 5 hours because like they could, and I like the pitch clock and then the challenge system that's coming out this year. I love it as well. It's like I don't want a full automatic robot umpire from pitch one to the last pitch of the game. I think that's going to be, if that ever happens, I'm not a fan of that at all because you need the arguing with the umpires. You need the human life in the game of baseball. So I think 2 challenges per game is perfectly fine, or 3. I'm not sure what it is. But yeah, I'm a big fan of that because it's like, it's the last inning, last pitch of the game, bases loaded. You don't want to leave that up to an umpire. You could use that challenge that you have. And yeah, I'm a big fan of those 2 for sure.
What about Ghost Runner or the Zombie Runner? It depends on who you ask, right? Zombie Runner, Ghost Runner.
No,
I call it Ghost Runner.
That's no. I honestly haven't heard of that until now, if that was actually a thing.
Yeah, I don't know what y'all call it, but yeah, it's never been a big love of mine. I'm like, just play the game straight up. You got a runner on
That's too
second
much.
base to start the
Yeah.
10th. Yeah, I've never been a big fan of that. I kind of just wondered how it hit. Do you think is it pretty split? Do most guys not like it? Do you have a feel for that?
Like I was saying earlier, I had no clue like even that was even a topic or a conversation at all until you just mentioned it.
Got it.
Like
Got it.
I had no clue, so I haven't talked to anyone about it. But I just know everyone I've talked about would say the same thing. That's the most lame thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. I think, look, I totally get the innovation side of things, but there's some things where it's like, let's just leave the game alone.
Yeah, don't do too much. Don't take away from the game of baseball. Like it's already a beautiful and one of the best sports in the world. So don't try to do too much, you know?
Absolutely. Last question. Anybody that you've got, and I look, I don't want to put you in a bad spot, but anybody you're really looking forward to facing at some point in your career, major league guy. Clearly, you faced Scooble, so I mean, it's a pretty good one to start out with. But is there anybody else that you'd relish the opportunity to face?
Honestly, yeah, I mean, the best next pitchers are, if not, they're back and forth the schemes. Like it's just like one of those things where it's like at the end of the day, I want to face like the best pitchers in baseball. It's like I mean, that's how you're gonna be the best. You have to face the best. It's like why not him? So it's like yeah, I'd like to see like a Skeens or I actually wanted to see Kershaw, like my whole like growing up watching him as a Dodger fan, stuff like that, and like kind of scheduling out like when we were gonna play the Dodgers and stuff like that. But obviously he retired. But yeah, he was always one guy I wanted to see and hit a homer off his curveball. I always talked to my brother about that, just watching his curveball like growing up and stuff like that, like seeing it in person. But yeah, give me Skeens, like it's like to answer your question. So
That's awesome, man. I can only imagine stepping into the box against that dude. But
I know.
I love the mentality, man. Absolutely love it. Well, look, Cody, you've been so generous with your time. I just want to say a special thank you. You were awesome today, and I know that fans appreciate hearing from the guys on the team, getting that curtain pulled back a little bit where it can be, and getting to know you better, man. And we're all really pulling for you in 2026 and hoping you guys can get back to October and make some noise this year. So thank you again.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. And Ranger fans, get ready for this year. It's gonna be fun.
All right, brother. Hey, God's blessings on the rest of the off season, and I'm gonna try and make it down to Surprise. So hope to
Come
maybe see
on.
you there, and hope the rest of the off season goes really well for you, man.
Perfect. I appreciate it. God bless and just thank you.
Absolutely, man. Bye now.
See ya.
All right, guys. That was Cody. Hey, appreciate all you guys hanging out. It was a lot of fun. We hope that it's not the last time Cody's on the show. I have a feeling it won't be, but we'll see if we can keep on building. It is going to be a fun 2026. I know that. I am so pumped about 2026. I know that we go back and forth a bunch about the roster and who they're adding and who they're not adding, but the bottom line is we love the Rangers, we love baseball, and I am really, really excited to see what Cody does in 2026. And I'm hopeful that some guys that had some tough years last year bounce back. I'm going to try my best to keep the vibes positive the rest of the way. But hey, if you want to add Bo Bichette, no, I don't think anybody's going to complain. Am I right? Oh, shoot. Appreciate all you guys. Osuna, I hope is next. I really do hope he is next. Absolutely. Right on Rangers Live from Surprise would be 100% legit. 100%. Scott, love you, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Brian, by the way, you the question that you asked, he said he's working. Cody is really working on his power, working on that back leg, staying back, building strength. So trying to add on to that home run total, man. That was what he said, at least for what he's working on the swing specifically. Right on Rangers Live for a Surprise would totally be dope. I would love that. Would absolutely love that. Want to meet Nemo? Yeah, that's right. FanFest is coming up. Cody's not going to be at any of the little meet and greets. Like, how they have like the little pop-ups. Cody's not going to be at any of those, but obviously I'm sure he'll be at FanFest. I wish I could go to that. One of these years, when my little boy maybe gets a little bigger, I'll maybe fly out for a fan fest. I would love that, honestly. If you're going, super, super jealous. Heard a lot of good things about Nimmo. It's going to be really fun once things start getting towards the end of this month, really heating up towards spring training. Going to be a blast. I really would love to make it this year to a game. I think summertime would probably be the most ideal. I haven't been to a game since game one of the World Series. I think I've told you guys. I'm a little nervous that that game is like never going to top it, right? So I kind of like that the last game I've seen is game one, but I got to make it back to Arlington. I'll try to see what I can work out. But if I ever make it to a game, obviously I'll be letting you guys know, and it would be real cool to watch the game, have fun, connect 100%. Yeah, you're welcome, man. I'm glad I could get a couple in. We went a little long, and so I honestly wanted to give y'all a little bit more time, but I wanted to be respectful. He's generous enough to give an hour of his time. I didn't want to go too crazy long, but you're welcome. Absolutely. Yeah, I think that what I got the read on from Cody was he's going to get opportunities. He's obviously already made a little bit of a mark in the big leagues. I think there's no question the energy he brings, the tenacity he has at each one of his at bats. He's a guy that is a tough guy to strike out. I think that is going for him. We know that Chris Woodward, sorry, looking at the Woodward question right now on my screen. We know that Skip Schumacher is a guy that appreciates bat to ball skills, is looking to move the Rangers a little bit more towards small ball. So I am excited to see how Cody Freeman fits within that. I do think if you look at the guys on the roster right now, there are some guys that are not necessarily perfect fits in the system that Skip is likely to want to employ. That doesn't mean that you got to kick all those guys out, by the way. But I think it's going to be a lot easier for guys like Cody, the guys that spray the ball all over the yard and don't strike out. I think that we saw a lot of that in 24. We saw a lot of that in 25. I think a lot of Rangers fans are going to appreciate a lineup that puts the ball in play a little bit more. Number one Texas Rangers supporter. I'm sure there's a bigger fan than me, but y'all know how it is. I love this team. Love hanging out with y'all for sure. I've been to the new ballpark. Been to the new ballpark, but just for the one game. That's the only game I've seen in the new ballpark. Absolutely. Keep going here. TLC, I tried to give advance notice. It's hard on YouTube though. I put it in the Discord a little bit, and I put it on socials. I'm sorry, brother. I definitely did not mean or intend for anybody to miss out, but it's just the nature of the beast. But look, the beautiful thing is we got this on YouTube, so it'll be there forever. Go back and rewatch. You'll definitely get a chance to see it. We didn't have a lot of interaction in the comments until the very end. Cody was checking out a couple of them. We asked maybe like 5 different fan questions, man. So go back and check out the replay. It'll be just as good. We're going out to spring training. That's awesome. I'm hoping I can make it down at some point, and I'll keep y'all posted. But that'd be a lot of fun meeting up with some of you guys, or absolutely would love to meet up with Cody again, do something live. That would be amazing. Absolutely amazing. We keep on rolling. Hey, look, it's been, what are we at, an hour and 8 minutes? Great show. I am just so thankful to all you guys. Obviously, super grateful to Cody for coming on. One step at a time, one day at a time, just trying to continue to grow this great community of people we got and that we built up here at Right on Rangers. And this is a great step. I've told y'all my goal for 26 is to get credentialed at some point for at least a game or a series. I don't think I'm trying to be the all year round guy up in the press box, but I am hoping that I can get a little on field pass and go through the whole experience that the media goes through at some point. Have tried to start working a couple of connections. You know, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, right? I've heard that the Rangers are sometimes a little hesitant to credential guys like me, independent, maybe bordering on fan reaction, if you will. Clearly, we're not a bigwig reporter for the Dallas Morning News, but we put a lot of time into the research that we put into our videos, try to do things that help make the team more accessible and more enjoyable for you, like we just did here on the show. So hopefully they'll be nice to us when we apply for those credentials at some point this year. That would be freaking awesome. Hey, and you know what would be awesome as well is if you would consider supporting the show in whatever ways you can, whether it's hitting that follow button. Some of you guys maybe are watching right now, haven't hit that follow button yet. Would love if you hit that follow button or subscribe. And that way you can keep up with all of the content that we put out, videos, lives, all sorts of good stuff. You want to take your support to the next level? I've got a $2.99 a month membership. Biggest thing that you get out of that is access to our exclusive Ride on Rangers Discord. You get access to some early things. A bunch of the guys in the Discord knew we were doing this Cody Freeman interview before anybody else. And of course, you'll get my rapid reaction on all things Rangers being a part of that. So all you have to do is subscribe and become a member. $2.99 a month if you're on YouTube right now. I do have something on TikTok as well. If you prefer TikTok, there is a subscription over there too. So with that, I think we're about to go and enjoy the rest of our Thursday night, man. Long weekend coming right up. Love it. I hope you guys are doing something fun. I don't know what we got planned here, but it'll be nice to at least slow things down a little bit and enjoy time with the fam. Enjoy time slowing it down a little bit. So, hey, look, we will be back at some point next week, probably on Wednesday, maybe back to our normal Wednesday Ride on Rangers show. I'll probably have a couple of shorts out. It's been a while since I put out a reel, so I'm planning on doing that. It's kind of a dead period right now in Rangers baseball, if we're just being honest. There's not a lot going on right now, and I know that is much to the chagrin of some of you who want to see some action. And look, I'm a fan of the team first. I'd love to see them start making some moves. You don't know what CY has up his sleeve, but I sure would like to see something splashy. Nothing against guys that are currently on the team right now, but I would love to see something splashy this year. That would be phenomenal in what's been kind of a slow offseason so far, minus the Brandon Nimmo, Marcus Semien trade. Doing in-game Rangers interviews during spring training. I don't think they're going to give me that good of access, but hey, look, if I could get a couple more sit-downs with a couple of these up-and-coming guys, I would absolutely love it. That would make my day. Look, I'm going to take what I can get. Cody, generous enough to come on, give us an hour of his time. What a guy. That you guys know I haven't been shy. One of my favorite Rangers. Would love to see him really get an opportunity this year to show what he's got. All right, y'all. Hey, we're going to take off and enjoy the rest of this evening. Y'all do the same. And we will be back next week. Hopefully catch you at some point over the next few days with one of our shorts or reels coming out. And look, as I always say to end every show, God bless and go Rangers.